All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live and we are here for a King of the Hill. First matchup is going to be myself against Ice Power, getting things started. So, and without further ado, hopefully he's still sitting around and we're about to get underway right off the bat. Alright, yeah, so for this first matchup, it's going to be myself leading the Vampire Counts, and Ice Power is going to be leading his main faction as the Dark Elves. Alright, he should be loading in here any second now. So for my build here, definitely went a bit more of kind of the Air Force. Very heavy on the Air Force, actually. See how the troop counts look. So he actually went pretty elite. 678, outnumbering him 2-1. But we'll see if numbers is going to win the day. Kind of have a front line of zombies, and just kind of mix of grave guards, sternsmen, kind of the works. Just a few fast movers, just kind of hopefully route out anything that gets. All right, so yeah, we got Blood Dragon. We have the Devils of Schwarzhofen, Terrorgeist, a couple Fellbats. See how that Goon squad makes it out. Alright, looks like he's probably ready. Alright. Let's see how this turns out. He's definitely kind of grouped up. Looks like he's probably going to have Marathi. And let's see who he's got. Yep, Marathi. There's a couple of Blackheart Corsairs, Blackguards, Nagaron, Dreadspears, more of the Blackguard, and Slaaneash's Harvesters. Looks like we have the Blades of the Blood Queen, so he went quite elite. It's not exactly, I guess, ideal, but we'll see. We'll do what we can. Oh no, that was not good. Get these, see if I get these Blackguard kind of tied up. Looks like they have Rampage at least one on the bat. Shut down them for now. Hopefully you can get these guys swinging over here. It looks like his front line is doing a number on my units. That is not exactly good, but we'll give it a shot. Get those shut down. Not looking so good off the get-go, but we'll see how... Looks like you dropped a Soul Stealer down. It's really... Yep, I kind of gambled with this build. It does not look like it's going to be working out, but we'll be able to just kind of spectate for the rest of it. It's not over yet. Let's get that Terrorgeist up and out as well. He's trying to rampage. Blood Dragon. Oh, I thought you had your...
Swiftly. With haste. Night comes.
That is not good. With the Rampage, my Blood Dragon with his Witch Elves, so that's... Yeah, this is generally kind of hard matchup for counts, but... Kind of, let's see, yeah, challenge into there. Blood Dragon's going down. Nope, I didn't bring anything other than the mass Air Force. I didn't bring any heroes on the ground. Just kind of hoping he would at least bring something in the air, but looks like he went completely with the Marathi blob. Did pretty well. He was able to rampage my Blood Dragon right off. Well, I guess not right off the bat, but in kind of a bad spot. And then the Blackguard, and the ROR Hargoness Executioners definitely did some work. And that will be all for that first round. So Ice Power is going to be starting off as the king. SGG. Yeah, that definitely did not go smoothly at all. But alas, that is the first game. Alright, so Alright, so I'm going to host as spectator for this next matchup. Looks like we have Tesla up next. Yeah, definitely was not the most optimal build, but hopefully, so it looks like, okay, Ice Power and Tesla have now joined up. Let's just kind of give a little map switch. Just go to Shimmer Sword. Ice picks 3. board. Alright, let's see how they are doing. So it looks like Ice Power's going either Coast, Dark Elves, or Empire. I know he's definitely been trying to... Dark Elves is his main. He's definitely been trying to learn the Empire a bit more. I'm not really sure how good he is with Coast, but it looks like Tesla's going to be banning Coast and going Greenskins. And Ice Power is going to be going Empire. Alright, so they'll be picking off. So this is the first King of the Hill that I'm going to be hosting. I'm going to hopefully planning to do a bit more of these, kind of mix them in with the tournament that I'll also be hosting. Probably next one's going to be next weekend. I'm probably going to get that one scheduled here today or tomorrow. So there'll be more streams to look forward to as kind of mixed in. Oh, and Tesla seems to have dropped. Let's see. I know he had this problem where, I'm not sure if it was Tesla or not, but where one of the people in the lobby were unable to pick their unit, so he's probably just backing out and coming back in. So hopefully, let's see if I can find him. Actually, so it did look like he crashed, so he'll be back in just a sec. And there he is. Tesla saying that's a bad sign. I'm sure it will be fine. Alright, well, Ice Power's ready up. Tesla will have to repick his army, so he should be... But hopefully wasn't too far along. Alright, so now Tesla is set, so we'll get this show on the way. Alright, let's see what I'm gonna guess. I played, actually, Ice Power as Greenskins against his Empire, so I'm guessing he's gonna bring a kind of a fairly heavy cav force. That's what he did against me. We'll see if he does a repeat of that performance. Both, let's get the settings updated. Oops. Okay. There, that's a lot better. while we wait for everyone to join in, we can just kind of look at the fantastic scenery. And now here they are. Looks like Ice Power does bring a little bit of cav force to start things off. Let's get a few more. Alright, and... Alright. Keep doing the wrong ones. There we go. That's not it either. Alright, there we go. So anyway, so Ice Power has brought a kind of a lineup of Empire Knights. He has brought, let's see, a couple handgunners. Looks like also the Silver Bullets, some Flagellants, the Sigmar's Sons, more Flagellants, so another unbreakable front line. We have some Spearmen, we have Volkmar, Cannon, and a Light Wizard. This actually looks very similar to build I saw him bring against the High Elves. See how it fares here. And for the Greenskins, we have some Forest Goblins, some Orc Boys up the front, some Savage Orc Biggins. Looks like it's led by Wurzag. It looks like we also have a Goblin Big Boss, some more Savage Orc Biggins, and it looks like we have some Orc War Boy Biggins as well, and some more some Spider Archers in the back, as long as the Black Orc, yep, already had him. So looks like a very infantry rush on the Greenskin side, while the Empire is going to be kind of taking a little step back, kind of let their cav kind of do a little bit of work, and have their unbreakable front line of the Flagellants and Sigmar's Sons and Volkmar kind of keep everything at bay with some spears to kind of clean up anything in the rear. So they are ready to go, and they are underway. So yeah, the Empire will pretty much just be sitting back. They just kind of got the spears guarding kind of their high damage units, so guarding the handguns. Has one backed by the cannon, so they're just going to be shooting in, probably targeting the cavalry forces of the Greenskins. Yeah. Wurzag on his boar. Now the Greenskins, at least the cavalry force, are starting to swing a bit over to the left. Volkmar sticking out a little bit, kind of keep these Forest Goblin Riders away from just getting any free shots in. But the handgunners are going to be opening up, doing a little bit of damage in. Any shots against Volkmar aren't really going to be doing a whole lot of damage, but any bit of shots. Now the shots coming into the Flagellants, they will be doing a bit of damage. Very low armor, kind of unshielded variant troops there. So these shots, while generally aren't going to be doing a whole lot to normal units, with volume of fire, should be able to whittle down these Flagellants pretty good, and being able to do as much kind of free damage against the unbreakable units will just make breaking through with their infantry a whole lot easier, as the Greenskins continue to kind of circle around, kind of force the Empire to reorient as well. But again, Volkmar's just kind of sitting out in front, just keeping those Forest Goblin Spider Riders from being able to shoot too freely. And of course, he has his own regen, so I'm sure he'll be just fine while he lets the gunpowder continue to do good work. Been doing some pretty good damage here. It looks like we have a net going down to these units out front, and they will be routing as they take some shots in from the Silver Bullets. And now Volkmar himself is getting into melee, as Wurzag and the Goblin Big Boss are now running in to engage as well. It looks like a Soulfire bombardment is coming down into the middle of that, and the Greenskins are pulling out, able to avoid the brunt of that damage at least. And now the front lines have engaged. Sigmar's Sons engaging the Savage Orc Biggins. They'll be doing some very good damage. Both of these Savage Orc Biggins should be able to chew through the front line very well. They actually got some good engagement. Savage Orc across all of the front line, and now the Cav force is now pushing in, really kind of overwhelming what Empire Knights are, very, especially with these Forest Goblin Riders. So it looks like some more buffs going down on the infantry line. Yeah, these Flagellants are taking a lot of damage to the Savage Orc Biggins. They're not going to be able to hold that for too much longer, as the Goblin Big Boss is now coming in, trying to shut down these handgunners, taking a bit of damage on the way in, but otherwise doing all right. But now the handgunners are turning around and firing onto the Cav, which have now entered one of the units of Orc or Biggins are taking quite a bit of damage. They'll probably be routing, and they are right along the edge of the map. So any of these cav units that route are just going to be going straight off. Will not even need to be chased off. Looks like a Vindictive Glare coming in. I'm not sure what they were aiming for. It looks like it kind of missed its mark. Warzag's already at half health, though, so he must have been taking some good handgun fire on his approach as well. But the front line of the Empire is pretty much in tatters. Now they're kind of relying on the spearmen to hold off. Though these silver bullets are still completely free to fire, these Savage Orc Biggins may have been a good idea to kind of push in, get those, but we have a Brainburster coming down, doing very good damage right into the middle of that for a kind of box formation, so that's going to be doing a lot of damage there versus if they were kind of spread out. Surprisingly, these Orc Biggins that looked like they routed actually didn't go off the map, being that close to the white line. And the cannons are continuing to fire, just getting a few shots in. They still doesn't look like they've used that much ammo. Now one of the Empire Knights, and it looks like a Banishment coming down. This is the beginning of that, but a Banishment kind of clipping some of the Savage Orcs, but otherwise it is kind of moving off to the side. Now Volkmar is now trying to hold off the Green Tide as they kind of push in closer and closer to the cannons and getting more into the gun line. But now it looks like that one Empire Knights has broken, so the cannon will now be going offline, and that's going to be a very big hit for Ice Power here, as getting that offline with having so much potential still left, but the Greenskins were just able to overrun even the Unbreakable units just so fast. And now another Soulfire Bombardment. Looks like it's coming down kind of in the middle, kind of clipping one unit of Savage Orcs, but still doing all right. Now the Balance Power is starting to edge back into the Greenskins' favor, as especially as the cannon is offline. Kind of the handguns are now all just kind of being pushed off in all directions. Right now, it looks like all of the gunpowder units are routing, most of them being chased off. One is coming back. Looks like that. Nope, that is just the regular unit. It's like Steve is still confident that the Empire has it, but I'm not so sure. I mean, Volkmar is going to be a very tough nut to crack, but if it is just him, I don't think that he's going to be able to stem off this entire tide, because now we have the forest spider guns kind of pushing off. At least one of the units will be continue to push off. The other one's just kind of firing in. They might come back. Looks like, yeah, that unit of Empire Knights has come back. Volkmar is engaged with the Goblin Big Boss with some help from the Empire Knights. Looks like he is terrified, so getting him routed, kind of pushing him off as much as they can. Any amount of kills that they are able to do is going to be very, very helpful. Right now, these spearmen are kind of trying to screen out the Green Tide, maybe get these cannons back, but they're kind of sitting right kind of in their artillery pieces are sitting right in the middle, with the Cav forces that now has the mobility advantage for the Greenskins. I don't know if they're going to be able to get back on and get any shots off. Looks like the Empire Knights are continuing to push off that Goblin Big Boss. Volkmar is pushing off some Savage Orcs. Now he's turning around to kind of help out the frontline engagement. We still have the Black Orc Big Boss. And did I miss? I don't see Wurzag around here, so Wurzag might actually have gone down. Another Banishment, kind of clipping some more of the Orc Biggins. So now actually the balance power is starting to go back into Empire's favor, as they've successfully pushed off one unit of Cav over there. So even without the aid of their gunpowder units, looks like Volkmar is still able to kind of really do some good work, and now they are actually starting to push the Greenskins off of the location of the cannons, as they're still patiently waiting, trying to get back on, get some shots off. If the cannons are able to reman their artillery, that is going to be devastating for what's left of the Greenskin. Another wall going down, should be the last one that they'll get, but they're trying to get any amount of damage they can. If they're able to break any more of the frontline engagements, it'll just make protecting Volkmar all the more difficult. But Volkmar continues to just be the beacon of hope for the Empire. Now it looks like some handgun units have actually reopened up, though they are wavering. So any amount of pressure there will probably push them off for good. But the Greenskin infantry is also wavering on many fronts. And with the Volkmar having terror, that's going to be a very good late game benefit, especially against kind of the blob of greenskins, though the Black Orc Big Boss is going to be providing that leadership buff, so that will hopefully help to cancel that out. But now Volkmar is getting completely surrounded, him and the last unit of spears. Volkmar is kind of trying to push out, do a little bit of cycle charging while there is still some of his units left. And some Empire Knights in the far back. One more very haggard unit. But it's really just going to be down to Volkmar and the Black Orc Big Boss. The last spearman has routed. So they will probably be pushed off. There's Empire Knights in the very far back. It'd be very good if... it looks like they are coming back, checking the map. And Volkmar... But yeah, just being able to kill Volkmar, I don't know if... I mean, none of the units except for the big boss, I think, really has the potential to do enough damage. And the Empire is getting their cannons back online. These last little few spearmen are going to be trying to hold that off. If Tesla is going to seize this, he really needs to pull what cav units he has left and just charge this cannon. They cannot let that fire in. Now Volkmar is actually just going to try and regroup with those spearmen, or at least kind of screen out as many units as he can for as long as he can, as the balance of power is going back into the Empire's favor, as nothing can really seem to kill Volkmar. It doesn't look like the cannons are actually firing, even though they are manned. I don't know if there's an obstruction or... Volkmar trying to get a rear charge off onto these units of Orc boys. Another Soulfire bombardment coming down into the middle of that, trying to do as much damage as he can, and he does rout off that one unit cav. Again, I still haven't seen any cannon shots coming in. Looks like they should be pretty much all lined up, so I should be seeing some shots any second. Big Boss doing a bit of damage as he kind of taps Volkmar in the back. Volkmar is getting a rear charge off on another unit of Orc boys. I wonder if those cannons... I mean, they are just in a little bit of a divot, but they should still be able to be firing at least a little bit. I don't know if he just hasn't given the command, or I'm not really sure what the deal is there. And now it looks like some more of the infantry is now routing off for the greenskins. Here's the last kind of pocket. We have one cav unit, just a couple of Orc boys is left. It looks like yeah, some cannons are actually firing on. Did she a shot come in? Fire Knights with Volkmar. I mean, if this Black Orc Big Boss goes off, that will be game. Because without that leadership benefit, the rest of the greenskins will surely follow shortly. And the Black Orc Big Boss is wavering. And he is routing, and it looks like that is going to be game, even though the Spider Riders just got onto the cannon. They are going to be dropping 2 army losses, and Ice Power will take this match. Very good game indeed. Well fought by both sides. Yeah, these Savage Orcs really did a great job of kind of blowing through that initial front line, even though they were all unbreakable units for the Empire. And I feel like they did a really good job of kind of pushing off the handgun units pretty early on, but still it didn't seem to be enough with Volkmar just doing so much. Oh, it looks like Tesla is already out. So let's see, next one up is Tank. Tank is up next. Right, let's update this again. So now Ice Power is at 2. Let's see. Oh, Tank might not be able to see it. So get Steam invite there. Make sure Tank can get in. All right. Oh no, Terrier, you gotta wait a little bit. Looks like right now we had 8 people sign up, so you'll be the 9th one on the list once we get down to that point. But just hold tight for a little bit. So. Alright, so accepted Tank's invite, so he should be able to see the lobby now. And there he is. Alright, let's see, where do we want to go for the next map? Oh, there we go. Let's go with Oakenhammer. Alright, so Ice Power is picking Dark Elves, Coast, and Counts. It's again kind of keeping his main in the lineup. We kind of see what Tank goes with. So Tank is going to be banning Coast and going High Elves. That is an interesting pick. Generally, High Elves do fairly well against them. And of course, Ice Power is going to go with his main, the Dark Elves. So a rivalry as old as time, as we have a High Elf, Dark Elf matchup. Yeah, a little surprised then we have with the band of the Coast, because I mean the High Elves, yeah, they do fairly well against Coast and Counts. Alright, so it looks like Tank is ready. Just waiting on Ice Power. Alright, Ice Power is now ready, so let's get on with this. Looks like armies are loaded in. We'll start off with the Dark Elves. Looks like we have a lineup of 4 Scourge Runner chariots. Looks like I saw a Hydra in there. So we got a Hydra. We have Slash's Harvesters, a couple of Cold One Knights. We have a couple of units of Dread Spears, and we have, looks like, Marathi up in the air. So, very much kind of a Scourge Runner skirmish build. For the High Elves, we have some Illyrian Reaver Archers. We have 4 of those units, kind of some counter skirmish. And it's going to be in all casts. We have Illyrian Reavers, Dragon Princes, the Fireborn, some Silver Helms. We have a Archmage of Death, actually, in the skies. We have a Noble. Do we have just 2 Nobles? So, no healing on the High Elf side, but very much a all-mobile cav force. So we'll see how Ice Power is able to kind of weather that storm. Both of the Nobles are on their chariots. I think, at least looking at the initial lineup, I'm going to say that the High Elves are going to have the initial advantages, especially with Tank heading them. So we're going to look at the spells here. So yeah, we got... Yeah, it's kind of some standard stuff there. So it looks like both are ready, and we should be getting underway. The Scourge Runners are going to be pushing up, see if they're going to be able to do enough damage fast enough against the 4 units of Illyrian Reaver Archers. We do have Marathi kind of flying up around, so the Illyrian Reaver Archers are going to be busy kind of dealing with the Scourge Runners, so they really shouldn't be making too much of a target for Marathi, but the Archmage of Death on her Eagle is going to be doing some very good damage. Looks like we have a Word of Pain going down as the Slash's Harvester is trying to get into combat. Now, Marathi is actually pushing off the Archmage right now as the Scourge Runner, at least one unit, is firing in. A shot coming into the middle of these Illyrian Reaver Archers can do pretty good damage. It looks like initially the Illyrian Reavers are taking the brunt of the damage. So it looks like we have a Spirit Leech going down on these back Cold One Knights, doing just a little bit of damage while they kind of remain in wait. Though the main cav forces of both sides are still pretty much hanging back. We have the 2 of the Cold Ones, and then we have the Silver Helms and Dragon Princes waiting around as well. Now the War Hydra is going to be moving up, starting to get into combat with the Illyrian Reactors as the Slash's Harvesters are also in, but the Nobles doing some pretty good damage against Slash's Harvesters, as now the Slash's Harvesters are routing. So far, it's just pretty much both sides exchanging shots, a little bit of kind of charges in and out. Looks like another Spirit Leech going down on these Cold One Knights. As now the Archmage of Death kind of flies overhead, probably going to be taking some passing shots. Now we have a Soul Stealer, which I imagine is going to be going down, clipping the Fireborn. Doesn't look like they got those Illyrian Reaver Archers, but some good high charges there. Some models are dropping, actually quite a few models by the looks of it, as now they charge in to the Dark Elf Blob, and now the War Hydra is kind of getting on, doing some damage to one of the Nobles, as the rest of the High Elf forces are now kind of swinging around to the opposite side of that Dark Elf Blob. We're going to get some rear charges in, as the Silver Helms now do. Going to get some charges into the Dread Spears, which are not braced, so those will be taking some good damage. It looks like they're going more for the Cold One Knights, as they chase down the units another Spirit Leech going down. It looks like that's pretty much all the Lord for the High Elves are doing, but that Lord is now engaged with Marathi. Well, Marathi seems to be holding her own very well. Now that Archmage kind of pulls out. Actually, the Dark Elves are edging in the balance of power. Really, they've been doing fairly well in the engagements. You got the Fireborn, very expensive unit, has been taking a lot of damage. From that Soul Stealer, is kind of taking the continual shots from the Scourge Runner Chariots, which now all the Scourge Runner Chariots seem to be being pushed off by one unit of Illyrian Archers and the Noble I think just that's a byproduct of being in skirmish mode. Though having all of those units out, it's really actually going to be a help to the High Elves, as they don't have to really worry about them kind of shooting down. But they are doing some good damage, though, to that Noble. I think before the shots were going mostly into the Reaving Archers, but now that the Noble's taking the brunt of those shots, it is dropping fast. Looks like another Soul Stealer is going down, this time clipping the Noble. I don't know if they clipped any other units in that one. But doing some decent damage there. We have some Coldwood Knights have rampaged. They're just going to be chasing these Reaver Archers, and those Reaver Archers just going to be kiting back. Oh, Ice Power is definitely putting on a good show today. Showing his skill with the Dark Elves. Collapsing now onto this Noble. As the Hydra gets its shots in. Not really making any contact with it. But now the two spears are now going to be coming into the Dragon Princes. The Dragon Princes are probably going to want to be pulling out. Don't want to be in combat with all these anti-large and that War Hydra, especially with Marathi in there as well. Scourge Runners are getting fairly low on ammo. One unit has used up. The other one just has a few shots left, as one of the units chased off that Noble for good. So that was a very good chase there, getting that one unit off. I don't know on which side that was kind of the misplay there. Tank maybe just been chasing the Scourge Runner chariots and kind of either forgot about them. It looks like another Soul Stealer, this time clipping 2 units of cavalry, so that's going to be just good damage. Routing both of them. That definitely, yeah, the High Elves now, they've lost really all of their stopping power. I mean, that Archmage death really isn't trading well with Marathi. Marathi's just going to be able to keep that Archmage from really doing any help in melee engagements, and now it looks like army losses are kicking in for the High Elves, and the Dark Elves will take it. A great game by both players here. Ice Power kind of proved me wrong initially when I was saying that the High Elves kind of had what I thought had the initial advantage there, but Scourge Runners did very good work against those Cav, against as well as Marathi's getting those Soul Stealers down. All right, so next on our list we have, let's see, so Legion is up next. Let's see. As we wait, Legion is already in. Alright, let's see, where do we want to go next? Go with Troll Country. Legion asking Ice to be nice here, as Ice is doing very well, as Ice picks High Elves, Dark Elves, and Empire. I wonder if Legion's just going to keep those Dark Elves off the field after kind of seeing the performance that he's been doing. And he does ban Dark Elves going Skaven. Oh, Ice Power is up 2-3. Looks good. Legion, again, another Vampire Counts main, saddened by Ice Power's picks of High Elves, Dark Elves, and Empire, though I'd say I know I generally like being VC against Empire. You know, some people may disagree. I like it. I know. I'll take VC against Empire any day of the week. Yep, so yeah, looks like Ice is going Empire here. So both are ready to go, so we will get on into it. We'll see if Legion actually goes with build that I saw recently as when he played Empire. Brought a kind of a trio of, or I guess it was 2 Doom Wheels and a couple Doom Flayers. So we'll see how that goes, if he does the same thing for this matchup or if he kind of goes with a different build. Looks like both armies should be loading in any second now. And yes, for the forces of the Empire, we have a group of 4 flagellants. Looks probably Sigmar's sons as well, so another unbreakable front line. Ice Power seems to be very fond of those. Volkmar again. Bright Wizard, of course. He's going to be doing very well. We got Burning Head, Fireball, and the Flaming Cloak. So that's going to be pretty good against kind of the low armored infantry of the Skaven. Looks like we have again a line of Knights of the Blazing Sun across the board actually, and Outriders, just regular the Outriders, kind of almost expecting grenade launchers, but they are not there. So on the Skaven side, he did do it. He brought the Wheels of Doom. He brought 2 of the Doom Flayers. Did he bring Ikit as well? Let's see who he has. So he did. So yep, Ikit Claw on his Doom Wheel. Yeah, with a Warlock Engineer and Assassin, it looks like it is the same build. A couple Warplock Jezzails, Rat Ogres, Clan Rat Spears, and then probably some Skaven Slaves up in the front. So yes, that is the build that I saw recently in his Empire Skaven matchup. Let's see how it fares against Ice Power's build. Yeah, and definitely the Skaven's backline is going to be pressured quite a bit. We have 4 of the Knights of the Blazing Sun. That's going to put some very good pressure. Hopefully that Doom Wheel and the Doom Flayers are going to be able to kind of keep them out. But even with the Outriders as well, I think they're going to have their work cut out for them there. And this is definitely not going to be a kind of sit back and hold by the Empire. The Empire is going to be pushing up. They didn't bring any range other than their Outriders. So they will be getting into the frontline engagement as soon as possible. See, Ice Power is saying he is ready. And we'll see. Should be getting started any second here. Alright, looks like both are ready and they are underway. As the shots open up immediately from the Skaven as the Warplock Jezzails fire in. Big shot going in on Volkmar. Some more going in on Sigmar's sons. Looks like a fireball coming in from the Bright Wizard. Probably going to be targeting, looks like it is targeting the Warplock Jezzails. As that comes in, goes through a few units. Takes out just a few of their guns, but doesn't really have any other of the artillery to fire at, so they'll be firing at their other high damage of it, as now the Doom Wheel trio and Doom Flayers are now charging in, pushing back the Knights of the Blazing Sun, going straight through these flagellants. They won't even slow them down as they continue on through. And now the rest of the frontline engagement has begun, with more Knights of the Blazing Sun going up against the Rat Ogres and one unit of Skaven Slaves, but I don't think they want to be turning and firing because they have the Warp Fire Throwers and the Warplock Jezzails both firing into them. They need to get them shut down. One unit of Warplock Jezzails has been caught by the Knights of the Blazing Sun, and this assassin is taking some really good damage from Volkmar. He did not pick the right fight there. That little Skaven is getting chewed up and tossed to the side. Yeah, these Doom players and Doom Wheel really are going to have to do a lot of work now that the cavalry forces of the Empire have really shut down the ranged units. So yeah, one of the Warplock Giselles is down, another one is kind of being pushed back. It might be able to turn and start shooting on maybe Volkmar, but Volkmar just turns and gets on them. That's going to be pretty much curtains pretty early on. A Scorch coming through. Looks like he's missing pretty much all of the Empire's units. I'm not really sure what he was aiming at right there. Maybe he was trying to go for Sigmar's Sons. Maybe a little misclick there. The Warp Fire Throwers are completely shattered. They are now off the map. One unit of Knights of Blazing Sun is off, so that's good news for them. That Warplock Giselle is down. Banishment going down. Just clipping some Clan Rat Spears. Not really that much value there, but doing all right. So now, balance power is still pretty even with the stopping power of the Doom players and Ikit and the Wheels of Doom. So really, they just kind of need to push off as much of the cavalry as quickly as they can. Maybe take an opportunity here to kind of get on Volkmar. Looks like that the Wheels of Doom is kind of pushing into him, but though it looks like he's kind of caught up on some of the Knights of Blazing Sun. The Rat Ogres seems like they are going to be running off the field pretty quickly as these Knights of the Blazing Sun kind of cycle out and let the Flagellants kind of deal some damage. The Assassin is now coming back right next to the Bright Wizard, so they'll be trying to get him off, I'm sure. The other Warplock Giselle is now offline, so they don't really have anything too quick close by to chase. I mean, Volkmar might try, but I think he's probably just going to turn back around, maybe engage this Warlock Engineer. Again, now the Empire is pushing farther ahead as these Outriders continue to keep pushing, doing some good steady damage to the Doom players. Though the Skaven really can't catch them, so it's not really going to be too easy to catch. Like a Scorch coming down, going to be missing that unit of Outriders. That needed to be either directed probably towards the Flagellants or fired farther back. The Wheels of Doom is now very low. That'll probably be going down. Looks like a Fireball coming in from the Bright Wizard. Let's see if that connects. It probably will finish it off. And down it goes. So the Wheels of Doom is off, and I think the rest of the Skaven army is going to be soon to follow, as it is just Ikit, the Warlock Engineer, and a couple Haggard units of Doom players that are left. And now Volkmar is coming in to engage Ikit and the Warlock Engineer, and they just don't have what's left to deal with him. I don't think they even have enough to deal with just Volkmar, let alone all of the Cav and the Outriders, which are still at half ammo, and army losses are kicking in, and the Empire will take that matchup. So, Ice Power is off to the races. He is now up to 4 wins on the day. Let's update that real quick, and then we can get the next contestant in, see if they can dethrone Ice Power. So, let's see. Who do we have next? Alright, let's see. We have, after Legion, is F-Pod. So, F-Pod, you are up. I saw him there in the chat, so we'll just send him a little reminder on Discord. I don't know if I have him on my friends list, so I might need to add him as well. Alright, F-Pod has now joined in. Let's get another new map. Let's see, what do we want? Let's go Alpine Ridge. Nope, not Alpine Ridge. Let's go Peak Pass. Alright, so Ice Power going with Counts, Coast, and Dark Elves. He is just going to take every Dark Elf matchup that he can by the looks of it. Let's see what F-Power does for his picks and bans. So maybe not. Ice Power is kind of having second thoughts on his picks. So he's going to go at Empire instead of Count. So Empire, Coast, and Dark Elves. All right. So we got Skaven banning Coast. So is Ice going to go with Empire again? No, he's going to go with Dark Elves against the Skaven. So after this match, we have Edge, Happy Puppy, Noob for Life, and then Terrier is going to be the bottom of the list for today's lineup. Alright, looks like F-Pod is ready to go, just waiting on Ice Power. Ice Power must be thinking long and hard about his build here. And there he is. Now we got Ice Power ready. You know, F-Power should be readying up. And away we go. Looks like both armies have loaded in. Looks like we're probably going to be looking at Dark Elves first here. So we got Marathi. Wait, I saw Marathi. There she is. There's Marathi. That's actually kind of an interesting pick. Don't usually see her all too often. Though against the Skaven might be a very good pick. We have a couple of Feral Manticores, some Harpies. I got a line of Dread Spears, Blackheart Corsairs. Good against kind of chewing through the Skaven Slaves. Some Dark Riders with shields, the Slashes Harvesters, and a couple Repeater Crossbows. So, kind of a pretty standard build there. Nothing too ridiculous there other than Marathi. So, actually should be doing fairly well against... Shouldn't have too much high damage output from the Skaven though. Let's take a look. And we got Poison Wind Mortars, 2 units of those. We have Nanny Boo Boo Sharpshooters. We have a couple units of Gutter Runners. We have Eshin Triads. Some Clan Rat Spears. Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. And yeah, and a couple of Rat Ogres in the back. An Assassin, all being led by Lord Skrolk. So we'll see how they deal with this. It looks, I think the Skaven, though, they have some good answers to what the Dark Elves have brought. You got the Feral Manticores and the Harpies up in the sky. Any Booba Sharpshooter should do well against those, but it's really just them. I guess the Gutter Runners as well. They'll be able to kind of screen out the Air Force of the Dark Elves. And, of course, the Poison Wind Mortars are going to do very well against the infantry of the Dark Elves. They'll pretty much just be shooting from one Blackheart Corsair to the next, doing some good time after damage. So that'll be, I'm guessing, the way to go for the Skaven. Oh yeah, definitely the Dark Elves are going to have to be pushing up, use their mana cores to shut things down. So it looks like both lineups are ready, and they are underway. What is... Ah, a little Vanguard action. Now the Skaven are kind of be shifting a little bit to angle towards the oncoming forces. I don't know if they have noticed the units in the trees yet. I think they should have seen at least one of them based on the map. We have the Flyers now kind of circling off to the far flank of the Skaven. Skaven should be kind of teeing up now, getting ready to fire in. Though the Dark Elves still aren't in range of the Poison Wind Mortars, they should be getting pretty close to in range of Nanny Boo Boo Sharpshooters, though. Though I think they're going to want to be firing onto the Flyers. Looks like concealment bombs going by Ashen Triads. Kind of keep them hidden from these skirmishers. And now the Mortars are opening up. Got some nice good hits on the Blackheart Corsairs there, and other good hits on these units, so they'll be doing some good time after damage, and they'll probably switch to the other units of Corsairs, get damage on them. Looks like that is exactly what S-Pod is doing. No, one more volley onto that unit there, though they are taken almost all the way down. And now the Repeater Crossbows are being kind of screened out by the Ashen Triads and the Gutter Runners, as now the Triads are revealed. So I actually didn't even know they were there. You know, the Gutter Runners are firing in this unit of Blackheart Corsairs. The Triads should do fairly well in that matchup. And more shots raining in, as now the Dark Elves have kind of gotten a little surround off on the Skaven position, as the Goon Squad is now dropping in a low torque. It looks like Rod of Corruption going down, catching pretty much all these units. And the Rival Hide Talisman as well. Everything is, and the Rebootianicus, everything that Lord Skrolk has is going down. It's doing some really good damage against these Manticores. Now, if these Feral Manticores don't pull out right now, it looks like and they both have Rampage, so that's actually really good for the Skaven. I don't know where so it actually looks like the Poison Mortars are being locked down, and Nanny Boo Boo's Sharpshooters. Otherwise, they would have been able to kind of turn in and just fire on these Feral Manticores, though they are doing fairly well. Marathi, there's another summon of Clan Rats coming down, hoping to screen off these Harpies, get those Poison Winds firing again. Yeah, it looks like both of these units of Feral Manticores are going to be running away. Now the Clan Rat, Rat Ogres are pushing off at least one unit of the Dark Riders, as the Slashes Harvesters are coming in to support. Gutter Runners, kind of just shooting down this one unit of Blackheart Corsairs, though the Eshin Triads did not win that engagement. The damage dealers of the Blackheart Corsairs being able to outdo, because the Eshin Triads are an anti-large unit, though the kind of the range units of the Skaven are being a little bit compromised. I think Navy Blue Sharpshooters really, they've been kind of caught up in this little engagement here, and they just haven't been firing kind of to what they should be doing. So the Assassin and Lord Scroll are now kind of running side by side. Scroll did get some very good damage, and Skaven are off to an initial lead, but I mean, these Natty Boopers, they're right on the edge. These Dark Riders could pretty much just charge in, rout them off, and then have the Harpies continue to chase them off. You know? So I think that unit's going to be out, as now the balance power went right back to the middle with that going down. Lord Scroll, I don't know if looks like he was trying to catch maybe the Dark Riders in. Now the Sinesh's Harvesters and other unit Dark Riders charge in to the Gutter Runners. It's a good pick there. We do have the Clan Rat Spears supporting, as well as the Assassin and Scroll himself. It looks like another Clan Rat Spears is actually coming in from behind on these Dark Riders. So those Dark Riders are now pinned in pretty well. They will be doing a little bit of damage on these like Gutter Runners, but I think the Skaven got the better in that engagement. Though overall, looks like the Dark Elves being able to kind of push off the Natty Boop with Sharpshooters, the Poison Wind Mortars there. It's definitely being more of a Dark Elf favored match as the longer this time goes. Even with that initial damage being done by the Feral Manticores, and that Feral Manticore is now going to be pushing off that Rat Ogre. Marathi doesn't really need to stick around there anymore and kind of swing back to the main engagement to kind of help out that front line, get some more debuffs down. Harpies getting down, shutting down the Gutter Runners for as long as they can, as the Repeater Crossbows continue to fire in, firing in on the Rat Ogres right now. Feral Manticore is just kind of in the air, probably want to move a little bit away as these Gutter Runners look to be kind of screening him out. That looks like the Feral Manticore might instead just go straight in to the frontline engagement. Harpies pushed off by the Rat Ogres and Skrulk. But this little pocket of Dark Elf forces are now being collapsed upon as the balance power starts to go back towards center. Fire a shot going right into the middle of these Gutter Runner units. Though I don't know if that Feral Manticore is going to be able to stick around too long, though the Rat Ogres and Feral Manticore may both be routing from that engagement. Looks like the majority, or I guess all of the Dark Elf front line are now either routing or gone. And so it's going to be pretty much just the Repeater Crossbows, Marathi, what's left of one Feral Manticore, the other one's pretty much all the way down, and I guess the Harpies have just come back. So it's kind of just a very mobile unit of Dark Elves against the mass of Skaven, just a mix of spears and a couple summons, so they'll be dropping down. A couple infantry units coming back. The Gutter Runners, I think that's actually kind of the one unit that really needs to be protected right now. So that's the only range force that the Skaven have. Kind of keep the Dark Riders hopefully from getting too much into it. No, these Essen Triads probably needed to stay more with the group there. They're getting a little caught out, being able to take some crossfire from both positions of the Dark Riders. Again, the Gutter Runners able to kind of push off this Feral Manticore. It is wavering. They might be able to get enough shots on it to get it out, but it looks like it's got a little bit of its leadership back. So it's going to be sticking around for the time being. But yeah, now it's pretty much going to be these Repeater Crossbows are going to be able to fire in until they're out of ammo. There's nothing that can really stop them from doing that. So, and again, they're going to take a little bit of advantage of these Gutter Runners getting out of position, do a quick charge in, kind of pull back right away as the Assassin tries to keep them from taking too much damage. These Clan Rat Spears, though, unless that's a summons, I don't think it is, are a bit out of position. Getting fired on, a couple units coming in. I mean, they can pretty much collapse on that unit. Get these Dark Riders, maybe charge into them. Marathi is. Do as much damage as they can before that unit is able to get back to the main line. It might be a good idea to kind of move the Skaven up, protect them, though they are going to be routing now. The Assassin needs to come back as well. He's getting a little bit too far away from his the group, and is now the Feral Manticore is dropping down on him. Marathi's also dropping some spells, let's see, what is it? The Concealment, so Slippery. Actually, that was spells on the Assassin, trying to get himself hidden and away from that fight. So he's just discovered right at the end, but that Concealment Bomb was able to kind of protect him for the time being. Skaven able to push off these two units of Dark Elves. But yeah, again, the Dark Elves are still with the full health Marathi. The Cav units that are in, and we have some Corsairs that are now coming back. They'll be doing some very good work against what's left of the Skaven. Yeah, I think the biggest problem now, though, is just going to be Marathi. She just has to stay in the air now. All the ammo's been spent by the Skaven. If she does engage as she's doing now, she just has to make sure to get out before Skrulk and the assassin can get too close. Now, even if they do, though that Manicore may have gotten a little too much ahead of himself as he is now shattered. So now it's just a few units of the Dark Elves. It is, yes, as I said, still in the Dark Elves' favor. I'm trying to think on how the Skaven are going to be able to get back in this. I feel like Ice Power is going to have to make some kind of mistake one way or the other. Either get Marathi kind of caught out or something to that degree. I mean, Assassin Trophy was popped on Marathi, so now that's been used. Now actually might be the prime time to engage that Assassin and Skrulk. And I think Marathi doesn't realize that as well, even though Lear Bubanicus is going down on Marathi, as well as Rod Corruption, on as the Dark Elves collapse on the Skaven. Assassin able to do some good damage to Marathi, but now the spears are going to collapse on him. These Dark Riders are probably going to be trying to get some rear charges, but actually the balance power has shifted. I just noticed how much it shifted back into Skaven territory. Though, I mean, Dark Elves still have the advantage. If that Assassin can get maybe a one shot, but it looks like he's going to be routing. So now it's going to be down to Lord Skrulk and his gear. The Gutter Runners are looks like they're going. A lot of the Skaven infantry is going to be routing now. Lord Skrulk's down pretty low. These last few shots from these repeater crossbows going in. So he's going to be routing to army losses any second. And there it is. But a very good game, kind of back and forth for a good while. Skaven almost came back at the end. Just a few more lucky shots, and that might have been all it took. But yeah, another great game as Ice Power remains undefeated today. So let's see. Yep. So FPod is out. So I believe I said Edge was up next. Let's see. So yes, Edge is up next. Let's see if he joins before I can remind him. See if he can even see the lobby. Let's see. Yep, that was pretty much it. Their F pod were, yeah, Ice Power up, Edge is back, but yeah, Ice Power is able to just pretty much sit back, use up all of his ammo, and then even though, yeah, those Manicores were pretty much on low health for the entire match, they were able to do enough, be able to chase units off and stuff like that, and Marathi being at full health definitely didn't help you either. Yep, we got Ice Power and Edge. Let's see, where do we want to go for this next one? Let's do a little Glacial Lake. And let's update the score as well. Now Ice Power is sitting at 5 wins. Only a few more matches left, and he might just do a clean sweep today. Yeah, and F-Pod, you also lost kind of the Nanny Boo Boos kind of, I feel like they got stuck a little bit in the melee engagement. So they weren't able to fire as much as they should have been able to. So, Ice Power, Counts, Coast, and Dark Elves. The staple 3 for him. And we'll see what Edge goes with. Alright, let's see. Edge should be picking pretty quick here. I don't know if there's a problem with lobby. It doesn't look like that comment went through. Might. Here, let's take a look. It doesn't look like there's any messages. Oh, there goes the comment. Maybe it's okay. So Edge just must have either lagged out or crashed. So let's see if we can get him back in a second. Alright, so yeah, Edge just crashed, so he should be back pretty quick. I think, yeah, the Adawi picks, yeah, it just depends on their matchup. It's really reliant on who they're up against. But the ones they are good against, they are very good against, and they're very situational pick in multiplayer. Okay, so... Alright, so Edge is back. So he's asking what the picks were again. So yeah, Counts, Coast, and Dark Elves for Ice Power are his three. So Edge will now pick one from the rest of the factions that he will play, and he will ban one of Ice Power's picks. Okay, so Edge will be banning Coast and playing Counts, and Ice Power is going to go Dark Elves. I'm just going to say, guess that's what the case is going to be. A very strong matchup for Dark Elves. I don't know if we want to be seeing a Counts versus Counts match. Oh, new for Life Warning the Mirror. And there's the Dark Elf pick. So we'll see what Edge brings. Hopefully he doesn't bring what I did. That did not go well. Yeah, we might have to ban ice power from picking dark elves for these last couple matches. Give someone a chance. Oh, and it looks like Edge went down again. Hopefully this time he doesn't crash. We might have to just restart the lobby if it happens again. Here. Yeah, I think we're going to restart the lobby real quick. Oh, that was wrong one. Post as spectator. All right. Oh, do I not have any spots open? Oh, I have one spot open. There we go. Now we have two. Ice Power listening to the stream, hearing about the possibility of banning Dark Elves. All right, both are back. All right, looks like both lineups are ready to go. So waiting on Ice Power to ready up, and we should begin. Ice Power making some last second changes. All right. There we go. Alright, Steve, is that the voice volume or the in-game volume on that one? Alright, well, I can just kind of up both of them a little bit, see how that goes real quick. Alright. Is that any better there? I guess I have my sound down a little bit. Getting better. Could it do a little bit? I can see the levels are pretty equal, but... Alright. Well, anyways, let's get into the builds a little quick here. So, for the Dark Elves, we have the High Beastmaster as the Lord for Ice Power. Some Dread Spears. Looks like he's going a bit into the corner here. We have some Blackheart Corsairs. Looks like we've got some Dark Shards. 4 of those. Some Dark Riders. More Dark Riders. Doesn't look like any RORs. Some Witch Elves. A Sorceress of Fire. Good pick against the Flying Forces. Though, yeah, definitely not the same build that he brought against me. And for the Counts, we have Hex Wraiths. Some Dire Wolves. So we have Manfred on his Hell Steed. We have a Terrorgeist, a couple Bats, Banshee, White King, Blood Knights, some just Skelly Spears, some Zombies, and some more Dire Wolves off to the side. Is low perfect now? Now perfect? Alright, so we'll save these settings then for next time. Let's see, both sides looks like they are ready, and they are now engaging. Let's see, Dark Riders are now off to the races. Blood Knights are going to be a little bit of a threat here, though the Witch Elves are going to be kind of the key to putting them down. As long as they get a little bit of damage off on them, they're going to be able to rampage them into kind of the rest of the units, get those Dark Shards turning and firing. As for, like, we have a Spirit Leech coming down from Manfred. It looks like an Overcast, took a little bit of damage, but not too bad. He'll be able to heal that back, no problem. I have noticed this for the Dire Wolves, where they kind of form into like a very thin line, and they don't exactly move as you want. I'm not really sure if that's a bug there. I've noticed that in a few games that I've been playing, but Counts are going to be kind of angling a bit, or at least should be angling a bit, kind of get the rest of their units that are kind of on the far side, though the Dark Elves might want to take advantage of that, having those units kind of out there. If they pushed up just a little bit, they could engage these few units up in the front, do some good damage. A Fireball coming in. Looks like going straight for that Banshee. Going to do very good damage indeed. Yeah, Fireball, pretty much a staple pick against any of the undead factions, doing very good damage against that Ethereal unit. Either Fireball is probably going to be coming down on that Banshee and Hex Race for the entire match. Though this Beastmaster being up in the sky, maybe that's not exactly the best way to do it, though he does have his bit of Dark Shard support, but having that Terrorgeist and Hellsteed is going to be a little bit of a scary prospect for him. As long as he stays away, he should be okay. Yeah, the frontline engagement, of course, we have the Blackheart Corsairs. They will be marching through this infantry. We do have one unit of Graveguard. Again, they were a little far away from that main frontline engagement, so those Corsairs are going to be doing very good damage against the zombies, be able to just mulch through them very fast. That Banshee will at least hold them down, at least until these Graveguard can get there. Once the Graveguard in there, but it looks like the air units have engaged. It looks like a Tormentor Sword was dropped by the High Beastmaster, so freezing them in place. All of the Dark Shards now being able to fire in. Not quite bringing anything to crumble just yet. Doing some decent damage to the Terrorgeist, but Terrorgeist has regen, so that'll be able to kind of heal back from there. The Cav units, looks like they were kind of forgotten a little bit by the Counts, as now they are responding, trying to pull them out. Though the Hex Wraiths are crumbling. Manfred needs to kind of get over there, drop an invocation on, save them. Though they might be a lost cause already, especially with him kind of stuck in the engagement. I don't know if he's going to be able to get over there in time. And they crumble away. So that's a big loss. Very expensive unit for the Counts gone already. The White King, see, did he even... So he does have Scab Scraith. Blood Knights, that doesn't look like they have engaged yet. Scabs right there. It goes right down the line. I didn't really do that much damage. Usually a Scab Scrape is going to do very well, kind of going down the length of a unit. Like if he had started it kind of right here, that teardrop would have expanded, done some very good damage against this unit of Dark Shards. Or just gone right down the line here. Would have been probably some good shots. But now the Graveguard have been able to rout off at least one of the Corsairs, though Manfred is engaged with the High Beastmaster with the source of fire below him. We have the Beast Slayer active, so he'll be getting a base weapon damage, bonus versus large, another fireball going in, targeting that Banshee, and it does connect, doing another big chunk of damage. One more fireball would probably bring it to crumble. Though the High Beastmaster is getting worked on by Manfred pretty well. Now that the Terrorgeist is in, that Beastmaster needs to... Well, he drops Tormentor Sword, so that is a very good pick right there, as the Dark Shards will now turn and fire all 4 of these units. Should target Vlad there. See how much damage they're able to get off on him. A Breath Attack coming down from the Terrorgeist, doing decent damage, but not too much. It looks like they're targeting the Terrorgeist and almost bringing him down completely. Very good shots coming off there. Now if that High Beastmaster is able to turn, should be able to finish off, and there goes that Terrorgeist disintegrating away as it drops to the ground. So definitely the Dark Elves having the advantage here, as the Counts are unable to really poke into the back line. The High Beastmaster doing some damage to Manfred, but these shots from the Dark Shards are just going to bring it down super fast. Final shot coming in, finishing off the Banshee, and that's going to be it, folks, for the Counts as they all crumble away. A very commanding game by the Dark Elves and Ice Power, once again showing just how lopsided this kind of matchup is. So another good performance by Ice Power. Yeah, those Corsairs were just able to mulch through that zombie chaff line super fast. I mean, Graveguard were able to return some damage, but yeah, the Blood Knights and the Terrorgeist just really kind of fell flat, just didn't get any real good damage off. And so yep, yeah, I just saying when he forgot about the Hex Race, I mean, that wasn't quite the end there, but that was a very expensive unit that went off without any real fight. So I believe, let's see, Happy Puppy, I believe, is next. Yes. So we'll send a little reminder her way. All right. See, I know Happy Puppy is also streaming right now. We'll see if she is still doing that or if she's going to be free to join. Yeah, that Counts versus Dark Elves is just really a rough matchup. My first match, I told Ice that I was going to be picking Counts, and I wasn't banning anyone on my side, so he just, of course, went with one of their hardest matchups. I'd say Dark Elves and Lizardmen are kind of the harder of the matchups for the Counts. Let's see. Don't know if Happy is coming or not. We might be moving on to our next. Just taking a quick look to see where she's at. It looks like she's in between games. We'll see. Here, I'll send a little message quick. All right, I think now though we probably while we wait, we'll move. Oh, there's okay. So I just responded, so she should be joining any second now. Oh, right, and as well for the map. Let's see, what do we want to go with? A little Bretonnia scenery. Let's go for that. And yep, Ice Power going with his classic Dark Elf Coast and Empire picks. Alright, so Puppy's going to be going Beastmen, banning Empire. That's a pretty even matchup either way, whichever way Ice Power goes. I wouldn't necessarily say Beastmen are one of Dark Elves' worst matchups, but I'd say Coast is probably one of their worst. Though Ice Power is going to be going Coast here against the Beastmen. Faction will to keep Ice from picking the same faction over and over again. Yeah, playing as Coast, I don't think I've lost to the Dark Elves yet. That is one where they just have so many tools against them. It's just like Dark Elves, I mean, they have a couple tools that are good, but it's like they get shut down by other components of the Coast lineup. Yep, so we'll probably be seeing at least a couple units of bombers from Ice Power. They do really good against kind of the low armored infantry that the Beastmen have. Well, they won't really do so much against like Minotaurs and stuff, but that's what you'll have the gun line for. But yeah, it's like the Beastmen, though, they're very much a quick rush faction that has a lot of Vanguard units, so they're going to be able to close that gap a lot quicker than kind of some other rush factions. So I think that's where the Beastmen are going to be shining a little bit here. So it looks like Ice Power, though, is ready. Just waiting on Happy. Oh, I did not update Ice Powers. And did I update after last match? Is he at 6 or 7? At least 6. Let's see. Yep, so he should be at 6. Yeah, Bertoni has like one wind spell that's not all that good. It's got some debuffs that are decent, but not going to be able to kind of wipe out a lot of units really easily. Yeah, phase Mortis engine effect. Definitely a good against kind of any blob fight. So looks like Happy is also ready, so we'll get this show on the way. So after this match, we got 2 more people left. We got Noob for Life and Terrier. All right. For the Vampire Coast, we have Clylostra Direfin, as well as another Rotting Leviathan. We also have the Gallows Giant Necrofex Colossus ROR. We have a few lines of Scurvy Dogs. Looks like we also have some pole arms as well. Just some regular deckhand mobs. And that's pretty much it. All the stopping power, as well as a Vampire Fleet Captain of Vampire. Get that Invocation. Very good again with the crabs. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be the stopping power of the Coast build right here. Is going to be these 3 units. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be enough, but we will see. As for the Beastmen, we have a line of Ungor Raiders, some Ungor Herds, some more Ungor Herds, and some more Spearman Herds with shields. We have a Bestigor Herd, a couple units of Minotaurs with the Butchers of Kalkengard, another Gur Herd, and we have a Bray Shaman of Wild, and we have Morgur the Shadowgave. So at least Morgur should be a little bit harder to kill, especially, I mean, the crabs aren't really going to be known for their gooning potential, and they definitely don't have any gun line as well. A couple Harpies up in the sky as well, though they don't really have any range units to shut down. Pretty much going to be probably dealing with any of the Scurvy Dogs. We have a couple Chaos Warhounds. So between the Scurvy Dogs and the Chaos Warhounds, I'm guessing the Harpies are going to be wanting supporting that engagement, and then hopefully the Minotaurs are able to kind of get the damage off that they need, but that Gallows Giant is going to do very good work against the front line of the Beastmen, though of course with the kind of the elite nature of the Coast. Balance power is not necessarily in their favor at the beginning. Alright, well, we'll be seeing you, Mr. Jabber. Thank you for sticking around for as long as you did. But yeah, we should be, let's see here. Looks like Ice Power wishing good luck, good have fun. So he is ready. Happy should be getting ready as well. Looks like she's all set. Alright, Happy as well. So we should be underway any second now, and we are off. Yeah, the scurvy dogs are on the far flank, and one kind of just sticking around the main blob of the Coast. It's just kind of keeping anything at bay. I think they may have been thinking they might bring some like scurvy dogs, or not scurvy, Senegors, anything like that, any of the skirmish cav. But they'll probably be, yeah, the scurvy dogs on the far side. Regan didn't want to be coming back in, kind of helping out against these Chaos Warhounds, though the crabs and the necrophects will do a good job keeping them at bay. But it's definitely very interesting to see a build with as little, I guess, gunpowder lines as they did. No bombers either. Again, that's kind of a little bit of a surprise, though. It's very much a box build, which is not something you see every day as Coast. It's like nice little spell going down, doing some decent damage against the deckhand blobs. Not killing any units, but doing some good damage. And yet those scurvy dogs are still off, but the shots coming into the Ungors, we've been heard almost routing them with just one shot from the Gallows Giant, though the Braze Shaman in a Wild is getting gooned a little bit by one Rotting Leviathan and the Vampire Caster, but now the Butchers of Kalkengard are getting in. And a buff. Looks like a... Just an ability going on. There's the spell. So we got the Mantle of Gohork getting some weapon damage, melee attack, but losing a bit of armor in the process. Calastro's taking a few shots from the Ungorn Raiders. Scurvy Dog getting a few charges into the front. Actually, looks like there could be routing at least one unit of Ungor Raiders, but Morgur is in the midst of this fight. He's going to be able to just tank a bunch of damage. He should have his summons on as well. Kind of getting us round off on that Rotting Leviathan. We have the Damn Knights Errant summon coming from Calastra as the Chaos Warhounds and the Harpies are now kind of closing in. Probably looking to shut down the Gallows Giant if they can. This one Rotting Leviathan is taking a bit of damage. Dishing out a bit as well, but probably doesn't want to be in too much sustain as another spell is coming down, doing some more damage to the polearm units. Polearm units, I mean, they'll do some damage, but they are still just chaff units. One unit of Scurvy Dogs is getting crumbling away. They should probably just try and engage, at least get some damage off, though these two units are pushing off one of the Ungors, probably have them turn around, rout out these other Ungorn Raiders, keep all the other units off the field. These polearms just kind of mucking up this Braze Shaman here, as the Harpies have at least temporarily shut down the Necrophects Coloxus as he's kind of stuck in, but it looks like he is going to be getting some shots off into this Ungor herd. Doing some just clipping the outside of the unit, so not as good. A summon of Chaos Spawn coming from Morgur. Probably collapse on the backside of these Vampire Coast troops, where they kind of take them out as quickly as they can and just leave the Rotting Leviathan standing alone. The Knights Errant getting in on these Harpies, pushing off, or shattering, I guess, these Ungor Raiders, and keeping these Ungor Raiders in. But it looks like their summon is going to be running out very soon, so those Harpies will be just fine. Gallows Giant still getting some shots in right into these Chaos Warhounds, going through their own pole arms, but they are just zombies. But it is doing some very good damage as this whole bunch of Chaos Hounds go down. They rout. The other unit is almost ready to rout as well. And the Rotting Leviathans are still standing tall. Despite taking a little bit of damage early on, they really are just kind of holding out. They haven't been taking too much. Getting these Butchers of Kalkengard on them is really what they need. It's the only unit that can really do the damage, especially now that all of the archer units for the Beastmen have been brought offline. So that was a very good play with the Scurvy Dogs. It looks like at least one of the Scurvy Dogs is about to go down as well to the Spears and Harpies, and another one is really just sitting out, but they are full health, so they'll be able to keep units at least honest. Gallows Giant once again kind of lining up some shots, probably going to get in on... Well, I guess I got interrupted by these Minotaurs here, as they doesn't want to be stuck in melee combat against them. He's really good against more of the light armored, the chaff industries, but the Rotting Leviathan, that's where it needs to be, getting the damage off. Isolate this unit of Minotaurs, kind of keep away from the Butchers as long as they can, just face one unit at a time. Now the Harpies dropping down onto the Fleet Captain of Vampires. So the Fleet Captain on the Crab itself, doing some pretty good work there. Able to just kind of outlast much of the damage that it's taking. The Scurvy Dogs getting a rear charge off on these Ungor Spearmen. Should be able to rout them off very easily. But it does look like the Beastmen are kind of slowly getting a surround off as more of the chaff units are withering away. Though, of course, the KOTH has plenty of summons in their back pocket, getting another summon of zombies up here. Keep the infantry surrounding their single entities. A spell going in. I mean, I don't think that would really do that much damage. It kind of landed in the middle of their units. Maybe clipped a little bit of these pole arms that were sitting in there. But as long as the KOTH is able to keep dropping summons with surrounding their own single entities, the units of the Beastmen are not going to be able to focus down the critical targets as much as they would like, and their the Minotaurs are really their only answers, and they are slowly getting whittled down. This one is getting pretty low. These are getting close to half health on the Butchers of Kalkengard, while both of the Crabs are pretty much at full health, as well as the Gallows Giant. These Bestigor herds would probably do very well to get in to really start just kind of whacking away at Clylostra if they can get their armor-piercing damage in. The final unit of Scurvy Dogs looks like they are about to crumble away, but those, again, those Harpies, they really don't have their ideal targets even on the field for KOTH. They're really good at shutting down the gun lines. Since they're not there, they're just kind of a harassed unit. Though one unit of Scurvy Dogs surprisingly still around, going to get a charge in on these Ungor Spearmen before they finally crumble away. Gallows Giant getting some shots into these Scurvy Dogs, the Chaos Warhounds as they approach. But I think, yeah, the Beastmen are just kind of running out of steam. They just don't have the tools left that can kill the two Rotting Leviathans and the Gallows Giant. I think they might be able to take out one if they're able to just solely focus on that one in kind of a vacuum situation. Now, an Overcast Invocation coming down, healing them all up to full again, but still, that's just going to be too much, I think, for the Beastmen to be able to take out. I mean, the Rotting Leviathans have quite a bit of armor on them, and yeah, even, let's see, where are they? There's the Bestigor herd right now. They're wavering, terrified of the Crabs, and now routing as well. That was really one of their better answers to what's left. So looks like the single entity units of the KOTH is going to be what carries the day. Butchers of Kalkengard trying to get a little bit of cycle charging in, but I think it's going to be not enough. I would say KOTH definitely has the best summon faction, because they're able to bring in either a pistol unit or just the regular deckhand mob. So it's got that variety that they have. Though, I mean, the Beastmen, they have quite a bit of summons too. I mean, they can summon Cygors, Chaos Spawn. It's a little bit different types of summons. But yeah, I think the KOTH, and they have the casters, they just have so many that they can summon. And it's not that expensive of a spell. And it just plays to their strength so well. But yeah, now I think it's only a matter of time until the Beastmen army just kind of wither away. Though, I mean, the Vampire Fleet Captain is wavering, crumbling as well. Though I don't think, that captain's probably used up all of its spells that it's needed to cast. Morger is now routed. They'll probably get, and there he goes. So I'm guessing army losses will be kicking in, and there they go. And Ice Power still remains undefeated. Yeah, that Gallows Giant, let's see, 250 kills. Very, very good match indeed. I mean, Scurvy Dog's doing very good indeed. Completely eliminating these Ungor Raiders, which, I mean, if those Ungor Raiders had been allowed to shoot, they actually would have done quite a bit of damage against the single entities, especially over time. But, yep, GG, well played. Yeah, those single entities were certainly the big winning condition for Ice Power. Alright, so let's update the scorecard. Is now Ice Power is at 7, and we have Noob for Life is up next. So we'll send a little reminder to him, see if he is able to join in. Noob for Life. Oh, so it says Noob for Life won't be able to play, so actually Terrier, you are going to be our last contestant for the day if you are still around. I'll send you a little... Alright, so Terrier is up, and I'll be right back. Just give me a second. Alright, I am back. So let's see. Alright, so Terrier has joined in. See if Ice has picked his. Alright, so this will probably be the last match. Well, I guess if Terrier is able to upset Ice, then we'll see if we can find some reserves. But I believe, I highly doubt anyone's going to be able to come close to Ice's numbers right now. He has gone undefeated for this entire thing. Okay. So, yep, yeah, I mean, if Ice is unseated here, then we will see if we can get some reserves in. Otherwise, if Ice is able to pull off this last win, he will take the crown as the undefeated champion of my first King of the Hill. But we'll see how this goes. So as Ice Power picked, he went Lizardmen, High Elves, and Dark Elves. We will see what Terrier does. So Terrier's thinking right now. So he will ban one and pick one. Oh, and the map, right. And the map. So, okay, so Terrier is going to pick Dark Elves and ban High Elves. So that leaves Lizardmen and Dark Elves against Terrier's own Dark Elves. Oh, it's going to be a Dark Elf mirror. Let's see, what are we going to go with? Let's go with Schwarzhofen. A final fight to end it. Actually, we already did Schwarzhofen. I was thinking Castle Drakenhof. There. Switch it up a little bit because we already did Schwarzhofen as the first match. Alright, Terrier is ready to go, just waiting on Ice Power. Really not sure what to expect from a Dark Elf mirror, so we'll see what both sides have brought. It's going to be a little interesting casting that. Probably going to get the sides mixed up at some point or another, but we will give it our best shot. Alright. Now can Terrier beat Ice Power against his best faction? Or will Ice Power sweep the field today and claim the crown? So, Ice Power's build should be a very unique one indeed, as he's memeing a bit here. So, let's see what surprises he has in store for us today. I'm going to guess probably bringing the Chill of Sontar, perhaps a Hydra as well. No, probably bringing some Bloodwrack Medusas, at least. Let's see. Alright, so which side is which? So, Yes, we have the Blood Medusa for ice power. We also have Morathi, Firecaster, 3 Scourge Runner Chariots by the looks of it. Oh, 327. I can't remember if is it 350 or 300 for normal army limits, but I want to say it's 300. We'll let her play regardless. Repeater crossbows, Scourge Runners, Celestial Harvesters, and some Dark Riders. So very mobile. I think this is the build. This is, yeah, he uses this build against in a Chaos matchup that I casted not too long ago. I think it's the exact same build. So, and then for the other side, for Terrier, we have a couple of Repeaters. We have Cold One Riders. We have 1 unit of Scourge Runners. We have, it looks like, probably Malekith. Nope, Loki or Fellheart on his dragon. Another Scourge Runner. Celestial Harvesters. Another Cold One Knights. And a line of Weak Swords and Dread Spears. And a Sorceress of Shadow. And the Shadow has Feebling Foe. Is that Pit of Shades? Might be. But yeah, so should be a very interesting matchup here. Let's see. Ice Power is ready. Just waiting on Terrier. Alright, both are ready. So he's getting this show on the road. Alright, and now the forces are advancing. Ice Power's Scourge Runner Chariots are going to be moving up, engaging these Dark Riders with repeater crossbows, and as a fireball comes in, arcing to do a little bit of damage as it runs through this formation here. Just clipping like just 1 unit, not a whole lot of damage there. Looks like, yeah, the Dark Elves led by Ice Power are just going to be cycling around the left side, or at least it would be Terrier's right flank, Ice Power's left, and just kind of getting some shots into his skirmishing cav. Definitely has the advantage in the skirmishing department now, especially with that other Scourge Runner Chariot on the far side for Terrier. Though Terrier is in a position, this Fire Sorceress is on foot. Lokir Fellheart could just completely just take out that Firecaster, though we have the Repeater Crossbows kind of starting to circle back the other way as the spell drops down into the Cold One Knights of Terrier, as Morathi now sweeps in, doing some good damage. It looks like we have a Word of Pain, accuracy and melee attack going way down, so those Dark Riders will not be dishing out the pain, but still receiving the same amount. So now the Blood Medusa is kind of pulling off a bit as the Scourge Runner Chariots are starting to swing back towards kind of to help out their other flank. A Soul Stealer dropping down on a couple of the Repeater Crossbows of Terrier, as Lokir Fellheart is just kind of flying up in the sky, and there is the Pit of Shades. Though against Scourge Runner Chariots, that's really not going to be a very good pick. Had that been dropped in the middle of these Repeater Crossbows, that would have been a lot more damage, or maybe in the middle of the Dark Riders with shields over here. The Scourge Runners just aren't going to take much damage in that case. Though the Scourge Runners are firing up into Lokir as he drops a breath attack. Despite there being a big clump of cavalry there, that really didn't do as much damage as I'm sure he was hoping, but he is definitely taking the damage from these Scourge Runner Chariots. And again, it looks like this skirmishing force is really going to win the day for Ice Power, just because Terrier just doesn't have the full ability to counter skirmish enough, as the 3 Scourge Runners of Ice Power are just going to be able to trade far better against anything that Terrier has brought, and Terrier can't really get that close with Lokir. Though, as I said, that one Fire Sorceress of Fire that was on foot was able to get caught out by these Cold One Knights, even though these Repeater Crossbows are just firing in. I think those Cold One Knights are just going to want to pull off now. They've been able to ride it once, done a good amount of damage, just let them go for now, because they're taking a lot of fire. This Scourge Runner Chariot is being chased off by 3 units of Dark Riders. Lokir Fellheart could actually probably swing down now and assist that, because now that most of the skirmish fabs are far enough away where they could at least get in some damage, do well. Morathi's now dropping into the melee units of Terrier with Celestial Harvesters as well as support. So they'll be doing good damage against the Bleak Swords. These Dread Spears need to turn around, really kind of get as much of a surround off as they can. They have the anti-large, those Bleak Swords do not. Scourge Runner getting a few more shots in as well. That'll be doing some good damage there. There's nothing really else to really counter-skirmish them at least. Bloodwrack going to get some shots in, probably going right down this line of Dread Spears. So yeah, these Cold One Knights, they just got caught a little too far back. They stayed too long with the Sorceress of Fire, as those repeater crossbows were just able to melt them. But the Lokir was able to get a good breath attack onto that blob of skirmishers, but they still have a lot of their staying power. And now that they're all turning fire, all 6 of these range units, they're just going to be doing so much damage to Lokir. He needs to pull out right now. Kind of help this engagement over on this back flank here, because they are taking some very good damage there, as his Sorceress of Shadow is now routing. Marathi able to do enough damage there. I believe that's... So now they're routing. Another spell dropping down into the middle off those Cold One Knights. They're rampaging, probably be routing pretty soon as well. But yeah, the skirmishing power of the Dark Elves is just so considerable here for Ice Power's build, as now he's able to completely push off Lokir, probably finish him off any second now. Marathi hounding him. I believe she has a little bit of speed on him, so and even one of these Scourge Runners could kind of peel off, keep him from coming back, hopefully even knock him out into the ground. We'll see, as the Bloodwrack Medusa is now kind of engaged, though that Bloodwrack has so much support from all these other skirmishing forces. Anything that is engaged with that Bloodwrack Medusa is just going to take so much damage. So yeah, as those Cold Wind Riders are going to be routing, Celestial Harvesters are probably going to be routing from a few more shots as well. But a Pit of Shades goes down just on the backside of the Cav line. But it did catch quite a bit of units, holding them in play, doing some good damage to these Dark Riders. Had that been just maybe a little farther forward, that would have been good damage, but it's a much better target than the first cast that we saw earlier. Looks like a Pendulum was about to go down, though looks like that retracted that spell before it was cast. Marathi's circling overhead. I'm guessing Lokir is completely gone, so she has complete control of the air. I mean, you got the Scourge Runners, but with the forces that Ice Power has left, very much able to control any of the skirmishing powers. And looks like army losses are about to kick in against Terrier, and Ice Power will get the clean sweep. So yeah, that Bloodwrack Medusa racking up 151 kills, pretty good indeed. But yeah, like the Bleak Swords and Dread Spears that Terrier brought, I mean, against what Ice Power brought, just wasn't going to be able to do much, because they weren't able to catch anything unless Ice Power really wanted to be caught. So very well played. And very well played to Ice Power for taking the entire King of the Hill series, going completely undefeated. Yeah, against what Ice Power brought. Yeah, he's saying potentially a bolt thrower box, but yeah, that was, I mean, you almost have to counter skirmish with counter skirmish, but very well played to all of our players today, especially to Ice Power. And that will be all for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for joining me today, and have a good one.